Hello, thanks for tuning in. This is Brian Funk, Ableton Certified Trainer, host of the Music Production Podcast. And I've got a brand new Ableton Live pack I want to show you called Analog Synth. Analog Synth is a fully customizable dual oscillator analog synthesizer. It's made from samples of the Behringer Model D. There's 42 presets of pads, plucks, leads, basses, and keys. You've got 16 macro controls. You can blend your oscillators, add white noise, play around with the amplitude envelopes, and add some filtering. You can modify each oscillator individually, and there's even an analog FX audio effect rack that has some pretty cool effects that will help spice up your sounds. And in this video, I just want to take you through the pack, show you how it works, show you how you can make your own sounds and use the presets. And hopefully you'll like it enough to add it to your collection. Let's check it out. Right now I have the plucks open. And each one of these racks starts out with the initialized preset, which is this one right here. And we can go through our different presets by clicking on those little arrows there. Got the balloon. And let you hear just a few of these. We'll go over to the leads. You can hear the leads have a little bit of a glide to them. We've got our keys. It's our initialized sound. Let's go to jump lights. Trying to go for some like really useful classic synth sounds for you in these presets. Sounds that would work well in pretty much any style of music, but not crazy presets where they're not exactly useful in real life applications. But stuff you can make music with right away. And we'll go over to the pads next. And if we take a look inside, we can see, we'll go initialize this patch. And right now we've got a very long attack, which helps give us that pad sound. So I'm going to just bring that back. We've got a long decay. We can choose the different oscillators. So I'm going to bring down the oscillator 2 volume. I'll let you just hear oscillator 1 on its own and go through the different waves. And if we look, here is oscillator 1 in our chains, and we have all of the different oscillators we can choose from. We start with a triangle saw, the saw, a reversed saw, the square, a medium pulse width, and a very narrow pulse width. We can bring in our second oscillator, so maybe we'll pick that medium pulse width there and start fading in. It's kind of an interesting sound. Some cool phasing happening. We can actually emphasize that by detuning oscillator 2. Right now they're completely out of tune, but a little bit goes a long way. I can even drop this down an octave. And then we have the noise. I'm going to bring down these other two oscillators so you can hear the noise, because this is kind of cool. We have a white noise and pink noise fader. And the way this works is it just kind of fades between our white noise and our pink noise sound. The pink noise is a little lower, not as bright, and the white noise, you hear right here, a little brighter. And mixing that into our sounds can add some really nice textures. Bring in oscillator 1. There's oscillator 2. I'm going to bring oscillator 2 down to the triangle wave. Maybe we'll make this more of a pad again by raising the attack. And I'm going to skip ahead to the filter so we can start sculpting this sound over time. Oh, well, this is frequencies right now. We have the filter envelope, which will give us the ability to sculpt these sounds with time. So if I say crank this up here and give us maybe like 3 or 4 seconds and bring this down, raise the resonance. Kind of cool sound. Now, if we go inside each oscillator, we have a couple extra controls, like an LFO on each of these oscillators, and we can put the LFOs on separately. So the LFO allows us to modulate certain parameters, and I've got the filter, the volume, and the pitch all set to the LFO. So what if I modulate the filter a bit on oscillator 1? Maybe I'll slow that rate down. We can pick different waveforms. Make this kind of extreme. Bring it all the way here where we get a sine wave. Nice and slow. I can even add that to the pitch a little. And that'll help give us a more analog feeling as the pitch of this oscillator is drifting a little bit. Maybe I'll do the same on this one as well. Just a little bit. We can have a different speed on this LFO. Oscillator 1 and 2 spread is going to change the left and right positioning of each oscillator. So the further I go, the further apart they spread. So let's bring oscillator 1 up a little bit. Balance just right there. Maybe I don't want to go that far, but a little bit is kind of fun for this sound. Now let's take a look at the analog effects. And these are kind of cool. You get another filter that goes over everything. That's the low pass. We also have a high pass as well now. We can saturate this, add a little extra bite to it, a little texture. This is pretty subtle, but it adds some volume. We can get kind of aggressive with it. Bring it down to a more subtle range. Got a bit crusher that I've kind of tuned so that it just gets sort of a crackling sound, which I think is kind of nice for this pad. So let's add a little reverb maybe. We've got chorus we can bring in. And there's some controls for the chorus, depending on how extreme you want to go. The charm is interesting. It's a few of the parameters mapped together. And then a delay. I'll dial that one back a little bit. And now we got another kind of cool pad sound. crushes. And then that little fuzz at the top, which we could pull down, because that was kind of intense. But it can be nice if you're going for a kind of old analog style sound. And that is analog synth. There are 42 different sounds and this really fun effect rack. And the effect rack has some cool presets that you can play around with. I'd say they get crazier and crazier. Well, fried is already pretty crazy, but the further you go down, they kind of get more and more extreme. And smash or smush. That just takes you to another dimension. Or we could go dry. So I hope you enjoy this pack. I had a lot of fun making it, and I think it's really cool because it's a very programmable thing where you can really get in there and make your own sounds. And I hope that came across in the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Take care.